My general calculation is, and I've said this to a lot of people who bother to listen, to interns or whoever it is, first 3 years you make yourself useful to your senior.
Okay.
2 years thereafter, the client should become aware of your existence and say, he's good or she's good or they, whoever it may be. 2 years after that, the court should say, they know what they're talking about.
This is somebody I know. Like I'm used to this person.
This person is not fibbing or faffing here. So, senior client court. If you're serious about what you want, that is the 7-year track. 7 साल में लोग at least associate partner तो बन ही जाते हैं. So what am I saying that's different? Two
different things. Anyway,
see, the point is, there is also the question of the individual tadka that you bring to the table. That you will. I was very clear that I will not hide my views, but it's not as if I'm going to wear my view constantly on my sleeve all the time unless it was necessary. And as long as I was associated with another entity, the simple funda was nobody else should pay the price for your opinions.
Exactly.
And so, be a bit more restrained. When I went independent, I said, I will take responsibility for whatever I say from here on. And to be honest, in my previous stint as an employee of Sai Krishnan Associates, my views were never stifled. Political or otherwise, I was never stifled. I was capable of and I was allowed to speak my mind on the law and things outside the law. To the extent that if I felt that something was wrong in terms of an opinion or whatever it may be, whether others felt it and didn't have the guts to say it or they didn't feel it, that's a different issue. I would certainly make it a point to make it known that I disagreed. And the place, and especially Mr. Sai Krishna, was large-hearted enough to accept it. So there's a lot, I think, the formative years play in terms of a role, in terms of who you become as a litigator, what kind of values you grow up with, what kind of values you pass on, and what you wish to be associated with or identified with. आपकी खुद की एक पहचान तो होगी, but what your professional parvarish also makes a huge difference.
Yes.
2016 September is the first time I went public in terms of a proper speech on freeing temples from state control at the Press Club of India. That's when the whole thing started. So that I decided to take it up very seriously, saying now I will not hold it back because I think I've proven enough to the profession in terms of what I can do. And the profession had started reciprocating as well in terms of opportunities. Right. I was able to go independent at the age of 30 on the 28th June midnight 2016, precisely because by then the profession had started saying, हम आपको engage करने के लिए तैयार हैं, आप कब independent जाएंगे? Because when you're associated with a firm, there are limitations to you being engaged, obviously.
Yes.
And then there's obviously the perception of conflict, so on and so forth. So therefore, once they started saying it, I said, okay, therefore the profession is saying, now is the time. In my own headspace, the ideal time that I wanted to go out was in 2017 because I had loans to pay back. A lot of, for my brother's education, so on and so forth. I was trying, he's a product of Carnegie Mellon. I was helping at least my family in whatever little way I could. So I thought 2017 should be a good time because by then he'd have graduated. That was the goal. A lot of clients said, we'll help you set up a filing practice. I said, why do you think I'll do that? I want to argue in courts. I think I can do it. Right. And that's what I will do. I will either sink or swim with this decision is what I was very clear about. Right. So the initial retainers that had come my way, within 6 months I gave them all off, saying I don't want a retainer. The profession will feed me or I will not.
Oh, wonderful. I
gave it back. So I retained only 2 sets of matters with me. One is the Basmati litigation, and the second is the standard essential patent litigation for Geoni and Intex. And I gave them up also by 2018. I had given them up, or maybe 2021 I had given them up. Okay. Basmati, just before I became a senior, I had given them up. The sense the retained client was given up even then.